Good morning, everyone. Sorry I'm a little bit late. Hopefully you all seen the little message I popped up and said that I was going to be a little late today. Okay, just finding myself on my iPad. Here we go. And good morning, Angie. Good morning, Donna. Sorry, my arms are going to get in the way. I'm just putting my iPad in place. I'm a little bit later today. And I apologise if you hear my squeaky floorboards right now. But I had some wooden planks put down. They're not floorboards, they're just big chunks of wood on my floor. Because my proper chair mats that you get for computer chairs, good morning, Donna. They weren't working. They were squishing up against the wall every time I moved from desk to desk and creating a great big lump in front. So I went, oh, stuffy mats. Even though they were the ones for piled carpet, which is what is in this house when we bought it, they just weren't cutting the mustard. So I went, oh, that's enough. It's going to look ugly, but I don't care. So I made hubby go and get some planks of wood, big slabs of wood actually, from Bunnings, and put them down, and they ain't moving. The problem is that where they join, there's three of them, they sort of creak and groan and carry on. I probably got the configuration wrong. Should have done it another way. But anyway, good morning. In the car on the way to Swan Hill, Margaret. That's different. Hopefully you're not driving and watching. You are passengering and watching. Because I don't want to be responsible for a ticket or anything like that. So it's a bit dark, isn't it? Let me just open my Venetians so I can see that a bit better. Maybe let's put a bit more light on the subject. Morning, Kylie. Thank you all for popping in. Sorry for being a bit delayed. But anyway, that's life, isn't it? So this morning, and it is still morning, isn't it? Just, yes. I'm going to be showing you how I made this window or peek through card. Hopefully you've seen this on my blog. I think I've had it on my Facebook page. And it's using the Healing Hugs stamp set, which is our Distinktive stamp sets that I'm featuring this week. Good morning, Faye. You're still in bed because it's too cold. I don't blame you. I'd be in bed too if I could. Actually, the reason I was late is because I had a really late start to the day. Good morning, Angie. Been crafting since 6 a.m. Couldn't sleep. Oh, my Lord. I wasn't in bed much before that. I'll tell you why I was late, because I sort of slept in. Again, I turned the alarm off because I didn't go to bed till like 2:30 this morning because I overcommitted like I tend to do. And in a group of Australian New Zealand demonstrators in a Facebook group, the coordinator organised some swaps from the holiday catalogue. And I went, yeah, I'll do that. And there was 3 groups going. So 3 groups of 13 you had to make cards. And they all had to be different. Not all 13 in each group different, but the 3 groups had to have a different card. So, stupid me, overcommitting, I signed up to 3 groups, which meant last night I needed to make 39 cards. They're due to her in Sydney by Tuesday, so I have to get them in the post today. I hadn't started them come 6 p.m. last night, and I went, oh, okay, I've got to make 39 cards tonight. 3 different types, 13 of each. Yeah, no worries. Of course, I always underestimate everything, and it took me till like 2:30 this morning to get that done. But anyway, it's done. And if any fellow demos on here are part of that product, that card share or that swap, please appreciate what I did, because it was done in the wee hours of the morning. Good morning, Joyce. Lovely to have you here. All right, so I'm going to show you how I did this see-through card front. As you can see, I'm trying to show you. Right, it's got little peekaboo holes through the card front. Now, this is not my original idea. I did get it off, trying to think of her name, Jennifer McGurk. I don't know how to pronounce her name. She's an absolutely amazing paper craft artist, American lady, and she's just amazing. She puts videos out and like within 40 minutes they've got something ridiculous like 100,000 views. So she's really, really popular, and I get some ideas from hers, and this was one of them. And I use the Distinktive stamp Healing Hugs because the Distinktive stamps are my product of the week. So I want to show you how I've done this. Now, there is no die for this flower or these leaves. There is no punch. So it's all fussy cutting. So last night, in between making all my 39 cards, I stamped and punched out stamped and cut out all the flowers. So I've used Rich Razzleberry on these flowers and Mossy Meadow for the leaves. This one I believe is Highland Heather and Mint Macaron. So I'm going to show you how to make this card. There are all my bits and bobs I need in a bag, so I wouldn't misplace them. Alright, let's move the stamps out of the way because we don't need that for today. There's no stamping at all. It's just gluing and assembling. Right, so this is your normal card. So I've done a open up, top opening card because it just makes more sense for this type of... Alright, I'm back again. Sorry about that. Internet issues. So I've just swapped my phone across to 4G. And now my iPad as well, just trying to find myself again. I'm so sorry about that. This internet is driving me crazy. This NBN. We had ADSL in Sydney, really fast ADSL I should say. Never had a problem. So, oh my goodness. So, are we back on? Is everyone here? Sorry, just had to get my iPad connected again. Alright, sorry about that. So, NBN can go jump because now I'm on 4G because NBN is just so unreliable. Oh, so annoying. Alright, so here we go again. Where was I up to? Right, I was up to talking about this peekaboo front card or see-through card, or whatever you like to call it. So this is a standard card. I've got it top opening because it makes more sense with this type of card. But there's no reason why you couldn't do a standard like book type opening card. And the reason I've got this little line across here is because this front is all glued together and you don't actually have cardstock under it. So that little line is a guide to show me where I need to cut the front off, basically, so that you can understand what I'm trying to show you. Now this one I did, and the one that Jennifer did that I got the idea from, she didn't have the little flap at the top. She just glued her panel all together, then glued the, put a little score line across the top, and then glued that top section to the top of the base, if that makes sense. I found that a bit tricky because depending on where you had your leaves and how your flowers overlapped, it was really hard to get a nice even fold. And because when you create it, these are not cut off, they're just glued on. You then trim them later. It's hard to know whether your score line is straight. So I went, that's a little bit too difficult. There's an easier way to do that. So I've come up with leaving the 1/4 inch panel or strip at the top. So then you've got something to glue your flowers and leaves to. So first step is create your standard top opening card. You can save paper by not including this bit, but I'll always use this scrap. It's not going to be wasted. So I'm just going to trim that off so that I have a 1/4 inch left at the top of the front of my card and nothing else. I'm not even going to worry about the pencil mark, rubbing that out if there's any left behind because it should be covered anyway. Alright, so this is our card base. Make sure that it's scored really, really well because it'll make it easier. Make sure it's scored and burnished really well because that'll make it a lot easier to put your panel on. Right, so there's a few tricks to doing your panel. You want some scrap paper covering the base of your card for a couple of reasons. You want to know the size of your card front when you're putting your flowers down. Now I'm going to use 2 because the first one is going to be a guide. The second one I'm going to hopefully leave the flowers on when I pull it away. Does that make sense? I'm hoping it's making sense. Making sense in my head. So I'm going to actually washing them in place so that when I am putting my flowers in place, I'm not going to have a mess everywhere. Now this is different to how I've done it before. So like when I followed Jennifer's instructions, she just had a panel or a square written on her grid paper, and she filled it with flowers, glued them all together, and then put them on, oh, I'm out of washi, and then put them on the card. So let's hope this works. Now, all you're basically going to do is arrange your flowers so that you cover this whole piece but leave gaps. Be really mindful when you're putting them up the top that you have enough here to glue to that panel so that it's secure and the front is not going to fall off. So I'm hoping I'm making sense. So you're basically just going to keep putting the flowers on. Now you're not going to be gluing anything at this stage. It's purely just for placement. Now you do need to make sure, whoops, while you're doing this, that some of your elements are overlapping, because that is what is going to keep it on the card and keep your card together. So here I would put some petals there and they're going to be glued there. So it's going to hold that little structure together. Now I think I need another flower up here under these leaves. So again, that's going to hold it together, hold it all together. And that I'm going to have that gap left. So you leave little gaps everywhere. And the bit of flower I cut off there, I could very well decide I want to place down here. So it is quite easy. It's really not that hard. The concept is not that hard, but you just got to be watch when you're doing it, watch that you don't sort of move things around too much and that you are leaving little gaps as you go. And I don't want to cover up my flowers too much. And I might put that little bit of flower there. So I've stamped 2, 4, 6 flowers last night, and I think 10 or 12 sets of leaves. So I just wanted to make sure that I had enough. And the leaves are basically what's going to hold everything together. So I haven't overlapped any of the flowers, but I have the leaves. So it's really quite easy. The hardest bit's yet to come. Trying not to move everything while you're gluing everything together. Good morning, Julie. Good morning, Chrissy, Carol, and Terry. Lovely to have you all here. Yes, thank you for who shared. Thank you for sharing, Carol. If you share, you go into the draw for a nice little prize. And I think there I have enough gaps, but I also have enough interlocking that it is going to hold it in place. Now, my idea of moving this panel off is not going to work. They're all going to shift. So I think what I'm going to do is glue them in place together, then take the scrap paper away and glue it to the card front. Have I made sense? Is anyone confused? Good morning, Arlene. I'm just going to have a quick drink. Anyone got any questions so far? Thank you for sharing, Terry. Right, so again, for those who've just joined, this is what I'm recreating. I'm not doing any stamping today because you'd be here for 2 hours if I stamped and cut out these flowers. So I pre-stamped and cut out last night because there's no die or punch for this, these flowers and leaves. So what I'm recreating is this see-through or peek-through little card front. Look through, I don't know, I can't remember what Jennifer called it. But I'm basically following along with what Jennifer McGurk did. I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce her name. Good morning, Kathy. Lovely to have you here. And she made this really cool card, and it's got little peek-through sections on the front. So I'm recreating that. I had this on my blog probably a few weeks ago now. So I thought I would show you all how I did it. If you want to go back and find it on my blog, I do have a little photo tutorial guide on how I did it as well. Not as detailed as I'm doing today. Right, so I've got everything roughly in place where I think I like it. maybe. I'll move this flower over a little bit. Okay, so now the fun is gluing it together. You're not going to glue the back of the flowers. You don't want them stuck to this scrap paper. You're going to glue the leaves where they overlap with the flowers. So the first thing I'm going to do, and when I do this, I try not to lift things off and then glue. I just try to glue. I'm sorry, I'm off camera a little bit, aren't I? Should I attempt to move this? Yes, here we go. No, I'm not even going to bother. I think you can see enough of it. You're just missing a tiny bit down the bottom. I'm not even going to attempt to move it. I'm sorry. I didn't even check to see if I was in camera. Right, so what I was saying is I don't lift things off, put glue and put them back down when I'm doing something like this. I try and keep them in place as much as I can. So I just lift the element and then pop the glue underneath. And you need lots of fingers when you're doing this, and a glue bottle that wants to work would be great. There you go. Because you need to try and keep, if you move elements a little bit, you need an extra finger to try and hold them in place. All right, so there's our first element. Oops, see, I'm moving things. Oh, I'm so bad at doing that. My fingers are all over the place. So now I'm holding the flower, the leaves, the second flower together, popping a bit of glue under that leaf, and then just holding it in place. And I'm a bit heavy-handed with the glue. I've got a bit oozing today. Yes, Terry, this card, my sample card, I've used Highland Heather and Mint Macaron. Today's card, I've used Rich Raspberry and Mossy Meadow. So it's just a different colours, but the way I've done it is exactly the same. And if you go back and watch yesterday's video, actually the day before, so it's Tuesday's video that I did, Facebook Live, you'll notice that, in that Facebook Live, you'll understand why I have more detail in this flower than I do in this one, because it all comes down to the amount of ink on your ink pad. Now, when I did this flower, these flowers, I had too much ink in that ink pad and I lost a bit of the detail. This ink pad that I've used for the Rich Raspberry is perfectly inked, and I'm getting a lot more of the photorealistic detail in it. So I went over that on Tuesday's Facebook Live. So just pop on my Facebook page when I'm finished and watch that, because it's got some really good tips on using the Distinktive stamps. And it all comes down to your ink pad and the pressure that you use to stamp them with. Now, doing this, you can get a bit sidetracked and a bit like, oh, what have I stuck down? So it does require a little bit of concentration. I'm trying not to move things too much. Right now. Sorry, my hands are going to get in the way and I can't see if any glue came out there. So I need to have a little look. Yes, enough, hopefully. So this is the hardest part of doing this card. It's just gluing everything down and making sure things don't move too much. But it also gives you a bit of wiggle room. So I've stuck that down. Stuck that one down. Right, now I need to stick this flower down. So you see, I just lift, apply the glue, and then pop it back down. And don't use too much glue where it's going to come out onto your elements. This glue, our liquid Tombow glue, is really, really good. It sets really quickly. You don't need a lot of it. What have I got now? Right, I need to glue these. Whoops, I've moved it. These leaves, which have come out a little bit. So I'm just going to pop some glue there and pop them back under that flower. There we go. And just be mindful, if you do move things around when you are sticking it together, just make sure you're still leaving some gaps. Right, so I'm going to have to change this a little bit because I've moved, I don't know if I move that down. Okay, I've moved those leaves up a little bit more so they're hardly touching this flower. So now I need to move this flower up a little bit, just a little. I moved it. See, this is the hardest part. You need to be really careful. Whoa, way too much glue's come out. Okay. Oh, thank you, Chrissy. It's not my original idea. I won't claim to have come up with this. It's from Jennifer McGurk, who's a fantastic paper crafter in the States. I've been following her YouTube channel for several years. She's absolutely amazing. Right, so I'm going to move this leaf to there. I'll stop moving. I keep moving it. I should lift it every so often just to make sure that I'm not sticking to the scrap paper. No, that's fine. Okay. I just got to be really mindful that I'm keeping enough at our little panel at the top so that I've got enough to glue, enough of my elements to glue to that top panel so it's not sort of suspended too much without any support. Right, so now I have lifted, I've done that one to there, that one stuck to there. Now these leaves onto this one. Thank you, Margaret. With this one, I put a wink of Stella over the top. I don't know if you can see that, but a little bit of wink of Stella. You see it glistening in the light. Right, now before I glue any more, I need to reposition these ones so that I have enough gaps, because I'm not liking that I've nearly closed that in there. I love this Healing Hugs flower. It's perfect for this type of card. You've received lots of happy mail today, Julie. That's good. What's all your happy mail from? That one, I'm going to move across just a fraction. I want to leave that gap in the middle there. Oops. Oh no, I didn't put my glue far enough back. Alright, I have a bit of glue oozing there, so I'll wipe that away. Now I'm going to have really sticky fingers. Okay, so this leaf. And don't worry about getting any over the edge of your card, because we are going to trim that later. Because you don't want it going over too far, your card won't fit in an envelope. And then that's just silly. Unless you want to hand deliver it, then that's fine. Okay. Nearly there. A letter from the hospital, you've got a surgery appointment. Yay, does that mean you have a date? Oh, that'd be really cool. Okay, so now let's just do, I'll move that one away for a minute. Right, stick these flowers. Oh, thank you, Sherry. I wonder if I should put the shimmer paint. No, it might wreck it. I was just thinking, because this one I've put Wink of Stella on, that maybe I should put shimmer paint on this one, because we've got new shimmer paint coming in the holiday catalogue, but I don't know, it might wreck it, so I don't know. I don't want to wreck it, because this is going to go to someone. I'll randomly choose. Alright, we're nearly done. I only have one lot of leaves, I think, to stick on. To make sure we're not sticking. We are sticking somewhere, so I've got excess glue somewhere I need to deal with. There we go. Stamps. You got some stamps and some concert tickets. Oh, where are you off to? What are you going to go see? I haven't seen a concert for yonks. Oh my god. Alright, so I'm just going to glue this one and pop it under there. And make sure it's overlapping this flower. And there we go. Our elements are all glued in place. Thank you, Carol. Yes, I don't use rich raspberry often enough, you know. It's one of those purples that I'm not drawn to. Alright, so there we go. All our elements are stuck together. So I'm just going to check I have no oozing glue, which I do have. So we can undo all this now. We've finished gluing all our elements together. And I'm just going to wipe away any oozing glue that I have because I don't want it sticking to the actual card front. So try and dab off as much as you can. And then I like to use our, I've lost it, where'd it go? We have a eraser, glue eraser, that has disappeared from my drawer. Oh no. Oh no, that means it's on my desk under this big pile of stuff. Oh look, there's what I was looking for last night. Where's it gone? I've got a glue eraser. It's a really funky eraser that gets rid of glue. And one second, I'll see if I can find it because I really want to use it. No, it's gone. Oh, now I'm sad. No, it's not on my desk. Oh, now I'm really sad. Alright, sorry, I keep hitting my stool under my desk. Really sounds disgusting. Right, so I'm just going to keep dabbing at this glue until it's not tacky anymore. Which means it'll probably be dirty, and then I'll have to use a normal eraser to try and get rid of it. I was at a Keith Urban concert you're going to. Cool. Right, so this is just a normal eraser, just to try and get rid of some of that yucky dirt that I've put on there now. Trying to get rid of the excess glue. Yeah, but there are really good erasers. They're square erasers. They're probably about this size. And they're like a rubbery type of stuff. We used to sell them, but we don't anymore. But I'm sure you can still get them from some craft stores like Riot or places like that. And they are a glue eraser. So if you get any excess glue on your project, it just rubs it off really easy. It doesn't leave a mark. It's brilliant. So, but a normal eraser does the job good enough if you let the glue dry enough. It will get most of it off. Alright, so I'm happy with that. That's not going to stick now to my card. Alright, so now, oops, all you're going to do is make sure this stays down good enough. You are going to place it on your card so that you like it. And it doesn't matter if it hangs over because we're going to trim. Alright, I think that looks pretty good. I've got some holes in there. Right. So now, again, just hold it and glue. And you just want to glue the bits that are going to be touching this little white panel strip you've got up here. So that can be a little bit tricky to work out what bits you need to put the glue on. But I just keep going down and up, and go, okay, I need glue there on that panel. What you could do if you wanted to make sure that it's all glued properly is do like a line across the back of this and then just run some snail or something along that line. But I'm not sure for this sort of card with it opening, people might open it a lot to see the effect, where the snail would be strong enough. So I know snail does a pretty good job, but with the constant opening and closing of this, I'm not sure that it would be strong enough. Right, so those two are done. Now I just need the leaf. this flower, pretty bright all the way to the end for this big flower here. And again, watch the amount of glue you put on because it will probably ooze. Oh, good morning, Anne. You missed the beginning. Oh, that's all right. We had 2 starts today because I lost internet. So there's going to be a part 1, which should already be up on my page. I think I shared it already. And then this is part 2. But for Anne and anyone else who's just popped on, I'm going to let that glue dry now so that I can trim the card, fold it, and we won't have any issues. I'm recreating this card, which is a see-through front card. Sorry. Yeah, see-through front. That makes sense in my head. So there's little holes in the card front. Okay? So I'm just recreating this. All I did was this, have the card, normal card front, like a top opening card. And I put scrap paper over the top of it and then arranged my flowers and leaves and then glued where they overlapped. So you want to just make sure that you leave some holes in there so that you don't cover the card front completely. And you only put glue where your elements overlap. Okay, and then just be really careful at the back that you don't get any excess glue because it will stick then to your card base and people can't open the card and they'll lose the effect. Right, so that's all we're going to do now is trim the back. So you turn it over and then being very careful not to trim the actual card base. You're going to use the backing as a guide. So anything that's overlapping, you're just going to trim off. Try and hold it like not too firm but firmly so that it's not, the top's not like flopping down. Otherwise you won't get it cut correctly. So don't forget everyone, my special of the week is if you purchase any of the Distinktive stamps, you will get 2 free tutorials from me. You may even get more, depends how generous I'm feeling. So today's Thursday, I'll put an order in every Thursday. So if you want to be part of that order, then just message me or call me before about 7 tonight. And I can add you to my order. All right, we're getting there. And then we just trim the top. This glue should be set now, so I'm not going to have any issues of it slipping or moving. And this is where you need to be really careful you don't accidentally cut the top of the card because this is where it joins. So then you'll have a really weird opening card. And there we go. The card is just about done. All you need to do now is add your sentiment and twine or whatever if you want. So that's it. Look at that. That is really cool. So I stand that up. Hopefully you can see how it works. And it looks really different to this one. Now, this is the one Jennifer did, and I don't like how it stands because you have to score across your actual flowers, and I don't think it's as strong as the one that the modification I made where you leave that little strip up here to glue the top of your flowers to. It just gives it a stronger front, and I think it stands a lot nicer. So that's it. That's how you make it. I will add the sentiment, which is just simply stamping on some Whisper White, gluing it on. When you glue your sentiment on, if it does go over gap, make sure you don't put any glue on that back of your sentiment because again that will stick your card front to your card base. So there we go. I hope you've all enjoyed that. That was a very popular card when I shared it on Facebook and on my blog. So I hope you all have a go at making it. If you do, I'd love to see what you make. So join my craft sharing group. I will put a link at the top of this video when it's finished. And pop over and request to join. And if you attempt to make one of these, then share it in the group. I'd love to see it. So thank you so much for watching, everyone. Oh, look at all the lovely love hearts. Oh, that's really sweet. Thank you. Yes, I'll be back probably Tuesday with the next video. So have a lovely weekend, everyone. And I hope everyone has everyone's partners, husbands, fathers, brothers, Friends, have a wonderful Father's Day on Sunday if you're in Australia. And thank you for watching. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you all next week. Bye-bye.